Welcome to the show, Matt Miller with you, and today's guest is here for an update. It's his third visit onto Trekzone. Mr. Gary O'Brien, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Nice one. 3 times already. Wow, we're getting there, aren't we, eh?
You need to keep producing fan films.
So it seems.
But as I understand it, you are well underway into producing your next one, The Holy Core. Tell us where you're at right now.
Okay, well, at the moment, it's all shot. And it's on a very long timeline being edited, and I've actually got a fairly good rough cut existing right now, so making good progress with it.
That's very exciting. While I was waiting for you, I was actually checking out your November production update again, where you were still building the engineering set on the bridge. You'd done most of the location shooting. What was the biggest challenge for you out on location?
The weather, actually. It was ironic because we shot that in the summer, and people may know that in Britain we had a really nice summer this year, except for that one day when it was stormy and raining and very windy, which at the time we kind of, we were upset about because we were looking forward to having a really simple day shooting outside. But actually it's a blessing really, because it was so much better for the scene. It's quite a dramatic perilous scene that occurs outside, and so the weather being like that was actually really good for the film. It was just a little bit of we sort of sighed that morning when we got up and opened the curtains and looked out and saw the rain and the wind, but yeah, it's all for the best, I think.
Nice. So you worked in with what was happening and put it on screen basically.
Yeah. The weather actually sort of was in sync with our script better than our hopes had been. So yeah, it was a good happy accident.
Fantastic. And then you've come along and very expertly crafted just the part of the bridge that you needed. Did that work out for you?
Yeah, it seems to. I haven't got to the stage yet in the post-production where I found out really. It looks like it'll work. It's at the moment I've just got the raw footage that we shot, with light stands and green screen and stuff all around the edges, just to get the pacing of it all. So yes, I'm yet to find out if it's actually worked, but it looks very promising. I'll say that at least. So yeah, we'll see.
You've got that rough cut down now on the timeline, as you said. What is there something that surprised you about the film, or has it sort of come out the way that you'd expected?
Broadly, I'd say it's as I expected. We'd written it very tightly. It's a very tight. There's no sort of fat on the bone particularly. There's no sort of wishy-washy bits in it or anything. So it's very much a tight script. We've got on the timeline what was on the page. We've managed to cut like tiny bits out just to get it down to the 30 minutes. So it does feel very pacey. Like it's a good pace. It doesn't really let up, which is necessary to get the whole story told in the sort of 30-minute or so limit that the guidelines dictate. I would maybe give it like an extra minute or two's breathing room in an ideal world, but yeah, I mean, it basically, I'm very happy with how it's shaping up so far. So yeah, it's all come out quite well.
So do you think that 30-minute guideline is a hindrance, or do you think it sort of helped you maybe be quite pacey?
Well, the guideline existed when we were writing it, so we wrote something that would be 30 minutes, more or less. And our estimate at that was pretty good because, if we left it super flabby exactly as we'd written it, then it was like 32.5 minutes or something. So whether or not the guidelines have hindered, I don't know, because we'd written this script to fit the 30-minute guidelines. So who knows, chicken or egg? I don't know what came first there. But
Very true. No, nice. Now, for people that aren't aware, and I don't know how you would be, but can you give us a brief plot synopsis of The Holy Core?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I say sure thing, and of course the difficulty is, which I've had the whole time of this film has been around, I've been talking about it, is I don't want to sort of give it away. But the themes it talks about are religion and fanaticism and romantic love thrown in there as well. But I don't see really the merit of getting too deeply into the story specifics because it's a 30-minute film, and you start chucking too many clues out there, and then people will feel like they've seen it before they've seen it. So, I just think it feels very Star Trek. If anybody has seen my other Star Trek film, Chance Encounter, that was lacking many of the classic elements that you expect in a Star Trek film, like loads of spaceships, loads of uniforms, phasers, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff wasn't in my first film, but there's all those ingredients are in this film. Plus, hopefully, we've still got the same sort of soul and good writing. So this will feel a lot more Star Trek than our previous film. But yeah, so it's on theme, and religion, fanaticism, and that kind of stuff is all involved.
Oh, you're a tease, Gary O'Brien. So how are you progressing with the edit? When can we sort of see it? Have you got a rough idea of a release month, maybe?
Yeah, I've sort of been...
Just to put you on the spot here.
Yeah, well, indeed. I've sort of been... I've kind of been intimating that it might be kind of March or April. It won't be March. It could be towards the end of April, but I don't know.
You can't rush art.
No, exactly. And you can't, you definitely can't. And also you can't take into account, actual work coming along and taking priority and stopping you from putting the hours into it that you might like to. So, it won't be before April. That's about as accurate as I can be at this time. But it won't be one of these things that languishes away and never sees the light of day. It will definitely be coming as soon as it can. But yeah, I couldn't really put a specific time on it yet. It'll be ready when it's ready.
Beautiful, Gary. Well, that, I think, is a perfect place to wrap this chat. And I think you need to come back when you've got that picture lock and the sound lock, and maybe if you can give us all a little bit of a sneak peek. What do you reckon?
Yes, well, indeed. And you know what? In fact, actually, there's some point between us speaking today and the film being finished, there will be a trailer, of course. So at some point I'll have a trailer out, we could certainly maybe talk then as well.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that and the film, Gary. Gary O'Brien, thank you so much for coming back onto Trekzone and talking the Holy Call.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Nice one.